My daughter's fingers slipped into mine, just as everyone clapped and the candles flickered. Her grip was cold, her face pale. She leaned close, voice trembling, almost too soft to hear. "Don't eat the cake." My mother stood across the table, smiling brightly, her hands folded like a proud hostess. She had baked that cake herself, decorated it with strawberries and cream. She looked at me the way only she could, affection painted over contempt. I blew out the candles. Everyone cheered, and I smiled too, but I didn't touch the cake. 17 minutes later, the police were knocking on the door. It wasn't always like this. I used to believe my mother's love was complicated, not absent. That her sharp words, her cold stares, her comparisons to my sister was just her way of pushing me. But as the years went on, I realized she didn't want me better, she wanted me smaller, weaker, dependent. Still, I tried. I invited her to birthdays, holidays. I let her into my home because I thought family meant forgiveness. But forgiveness is wasted on someone who sharpens the knife you hand them. The signs started weeks before the party. Little things my daughter noticed that I brushed off. Grandma slipping into the kitchen when no one was looking. The whispered phone calls. The way she watched me eat with a strange intensity, like she was waiting. Then my daughter found the pills. A small bottle in the kitchen trash, half empty, label scratched off. She didn't tell me immediately. She watched. She waited. At 12, she had already learned the art of silence from me. And when she saw my mother frost that cake with hands too careful, too deliberate, she knew. She saved me. The moment the candles went out, I played along. I smiled, I thanked everyone, I sliced neat pieces of cake and served them. But not to myself, not to my daughter. My mother's eyes flickered, just for a second, when I passed her a plate. She didn't take a bite. That was the confirmation I needed. Excuses are fragile. Patterns are not. I slipped into the hallway, phone pressed to my ear. My voice was calm, steady. The dispatcher listened, and then the sirens came. 17 minutes. That's how long it took for their knock to echo through the house. When the police entered, confusion rippled through the guests. My mother laughed too loudly, pretending not to understand. But her smile faltered when they asked her to step outside. A quiet conversation on the porch. Officers returning to the kitchen. The cake, boxed, bagged, sealed as evidence. And then, the moment her wrists were pulled behind her back. Gasps filled the room. My sister shouted. My mother turned to me, eyes wide with disbelief. "You called them?" she hissed. I looked straight at her, my voice low but sharp enough to cut. "You poisoned the wrong generation." The lab results came back within days. Enough sedatives in that cake to drop me cold. Too much for it to be a mistake. The story spread faster than I expected. Family who once worshipped her stopped calling. Friends avoided her name. The woman who lived for reputation watched it collapse overnight. She tried to spin it, said I framed her, said I wanted attention. But truth doesn't need decoration. Truth sits steady, silent, undeniable. Revenge didn't come in one blow. It came in steps. First, I made sure custody arrangements were updated, legally severing any chance she'd get near my daughter again. Second, I cut off every lifeline she depended on, money, contacts, favors she leached from me. Third, I told the story, plainly and simply to anyone who asked. No exaggeration, no venom, just facts. And facts were enough to bury her. Her trial is coming. Her face will be printed in papers. The grandmother who tried to poison her own child. I don't need to scream. The world will do that for me. My daughter rides her bike in the driveway now, free and laughing. I watch her and I feel something I haven't in years. Peace. Because she knows the truth. She saw it herself. and she'll never doubt my silence again. Some people think revenge is about rage. It's not. Rage is sloppy. Revenge is patient. Revenge waits in the dark, collects its evidence, and chooses the perfect moment to step into the light. And when it does, it doesn't just destroy, it reveals. That night, after the police car drove away and the guests trickled out in stunned silence, I stood in the empty kitchen. The ruined cake sat in its evidence bag on the counter. I stared at it, imagining the bite I never took. Then I whispered to myself, steady and calm, "She tried to kill me with sweetness, but I killed her with silence."